So the kids all had their candy bags where they put their candy in. It also started raining a little bit. It wasn't pouring, but it did start to drizzle. And they got to one house that they knocked at and nobody answered the door. And the friend said to the kids, "Come on, let's move on. There's nobody home." So the kids ran in front. The friend walks and then Ronald walks with the friend. But suddenly he had a thought and he said, "You know what, I'm sure I saw somebody inside." So Ronald turned back, went back to the house where there was no answer, and this friend didn't think anything of it. He just carried on, kept an eye on the kids, and suddenly Ronald started jogging behind. He said, "Oh, they opened and a man gave me 5 pixie sticks." Now pixie sticks, I'm sure that the American viewers would be familiar with pixie sticks, but it is a candy that was actually developed in 1942 already, and it is a sweet and sour kind of powder that is put into a straw. You open the straw and then you put the powder in your mouth. Initially, when it was invented in 1942, you would have a drink with it, and you will pour the powder into the drink and stir it and then drink it with a straw. But then the straw just remained. I think maybe the drink wasn't that famous and they just actually went with the straw. We had kind of the same candy here in South Africa, but it wasn't called pixie sticks. So we now have Ronald having 5 pixie sticks. Now, pixie sticks, you could get a normal size that was, as I can gather, 30 centimeters. You had the 51 centimeter, which was the long pixie sticks. That is what Ronald had in his hands. Ronald went, he gave his son Timothy one. He gave his 4-year-old daughter Elizabeth the pixie sticks. He gave his friends' children 2, and he was left with 1 large pixie sticks. Shortly and abruptly after giving the kids the pixie sticks, Ronald said, "Let's stop the trick-or-treating. It's going to pour now. Let's go back to the friend's house. The evening is done." The kids were a little bit disappointed. They went to the house of the friend. Ronald said, "We are calling it a night. We are going home." Leaving this family, friends of theirs, driving back to the suburb next door where they lived, Deer Park. And when they got out of the car, remember, kids are also trick-or-treating in their area, he saw 2 kids that he knows from Sunday school. And he called them over